Well, hello, you awesome and amazing people. Lynnie, Wennerstrom, spiritual guide and mentor. And I have a puppy that wants to go outside, so she's dinging the bell. So today is January 16th. We are day 16 of the year, 350 days left in the year, and we are 4.37% finished with the year. Wow. We're still just babies in the year. What are we doing? We are reading Dr. Shad Helmstetter's, with his permission and his grace, the 365 days of positive self-talk for finding your purpose, because it's all about you and you finding your purpose and you enjoying it. Yesterday, remember, we talked about looking for your highest potential. And I said, what are we going to talk about today? And we're talking about today, I said, Comparitis, very low frequency, right? And so very low frequency feelings, thinking, because it's in lack, we're thinking that we are less than someone else. And because we're comparing ourselves to them and thinking that we need to be better or live up to their standards or something, but basically we're in lack. We need something. We don't need anything. You might disagree with me, but if you become part of my membership, you'll understand where I'm going with that. So January 16th, let's read the passage, and then we're going to do something fun. We're just going to read self-talk tip number 33. And that's what stops us from being that amazing person we dreamed about becoming. And it ties so well into today's passage. Here we go. In my life, who I am and the path I choose is not in competition with anyone else, or the path they have chosen. Instead of worrying about trying to do better than someone else, I just focus on doing my best. And that is very, very empowering, because when you know that everything comes from within and you focus on that, you're just doing the very best you can. There's no reason to compare yourself to anyone else. There is no one above nor beneath us, as I have mentioned before. We are all here on the human experience journey, but we are a soul first and foremost. We are a spirit, and we are whole and perfect. Therefore, why are we comparing ourselves to one another? That creates separation, and we are all one. So I'll read this passage again with that in mind and thinking how empowering this is. So in my life, who I am and the path I choose is not in competition with anyone else or the path they have chosen. Instead of worrying about trying to do better than someone else, I just focus on doing my best. And when you do that, then you feel good and you raise your self-esteem, and you're not comparitis. You're not comparing yourself to anyone else. It's a very, very empowering passage, as they all are. So let's go ahead and read self-talk tip number 33. What stops us from being the amazing person we dreamed about becoming? When they're young, most people dream about doing something special with their lives. A lot of those early dreams could be reached, but they're not. What goes wrong? Research tells us that most of our success is the result of the way our brains get wired. Our beliefs about ourselves are the result of the wiring we get from others, and eventually from our own self-talk. When we're young and believe anything is possible, our brain hasn't yet been wired with what we cannot do. It just accepts us as being unlimited, with little or no disbelief to get in the way of our dreams. But all too soon, we're told by people around us what won't work and what we can't do, and our brain starts to wire those messages in as though they're true, even if they weren't really true when we first heard them. In time, many of those disbelieving messages become permanently wired into our once unlimited brains, and we replace our dreams with limitations. We could have done almost anything, but we got wired to do something less. Thanks to positive self-talk, we can change that, because we can change our programs and rewire our brains with the right self-talk, and we can bring some of those old dreams back to life, or create new dreams that are just as good. And this time, we won't let anyone take them away. Deal? That's a deal. That's really, really empowering. And what stops us is our programs. They're limiting programs. And those programs were put there by other peopleroos. So now this today's passage makes a lot more sense. In my life, who I am and the path I choose is not in competition with anyone else or the path they have chosen. Instead of worrying about trying to do better than someone else, I just focus on doing my best. And when you do that, everything is better. Everything's rosier and happier, and there's peace. It brings peace because now you're not trying to be something that you're not. You're being yourself, authentically you. And this gives you that permission to remind you. You don't even need permission, but it gives you permission if you feel you need it, to be authentically you. You beautiful, beautiful soul. Thank you. I love you so very, very mucho. Know that I believe in you and you can do this. You can find your purpose. You can activate your purpose. You can lean into your purpose because it's all about your purpose. It's all about you finding your purpose so that you have direction in your life. It gives you meaning in your life and that gives you direction. I love you so very, very mucho. Shining my light to brighten yours. Ciao.